Oh no. All right, hey guys. How's everybody doing? Happy Saturday. Wait. I can't believe that they made this filter. Wow. All right, I can't. All right, hey. Hi everybody, I am back. Yes, it is Saturday the 20 something of something, and I'm not gonna remember. So I'm back, and I usually come back when I intuitively have something to say. I'm not. Most people that know me know I only speak if there's really like unless it's funny or if there's like a point or something like that. I'm a bit of an introvert, so I know it's totally hard to tell. Holidays, right? Happy Yule, happy winter solstice, happy Hanukkah, and soon to be Merry Christmas and happy Kwanzaa. So we've got a lot of holidays going on right now, and though we all may think that this is the most wonderful time of the year, it can also be the most depressive time as well for people. Sometimes nothing even has to be wrong, and we're going through something emotionally or mentally from different triggers. So just to get the information out there, the National Suicide Hotline is 1-800-273-8255, and they also have the option of an online chat. Again, that number to the National Suicide Hotline is 1-800-273-8255. I don't believe that that's a morbid way to start. I think it's a helpful way to start for people that may feel like they're at that edge right now, because at some point in our lives we all kind of end up at that tipping point. So for anyone that's new to my videos, I usually do a filter to make sure that people aren't, you want to take things, you want to learn but not really necessarily take things to heart if it's like dun 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 or it's really like bad and things like that. It's life is an experience, not really a positive or negative one, just an experience. So I like to add filters to lighten the mood if someone starts feeling that scary movie feeling and it's like, oh my god, something terrible. But what I have to share today probably isn't news to anyone, is that there's a lot of mental activity going on right now. There's a lot of processing, categorizing things, trying to figure out how things are and if that's the way you want them to continue to be. And my cat's walking around, he's always trying to photobomb. No, Grayson. So a lot of people are trying to figure out, okay, I'm here now in life, where am I going from here? And as common as that sounds, this part of the year it's a bit more crucial. Not because of it being close to New Year's, but because we generally are in a position where, as I've mentioned in previous videos, where we're making some major decisions that seem minor now, but they really are setting us up for next year's blessings or lessons. And I guess all in all, lessons are still blessings, but I have to make some kind of distinction. I'd rather not use positive, negative, good, bad, blah, blah, blah. So lots of mental activity. It feels more mental than emotional for a lot of people, because our emotions, when there's so much going on, they tend to freeze, or they tend to get stagnant, or we're just like, blah, I don't know how I feel, which is natural. It happens. It's important to not force our emotions one way or another. Is this good? Is this bad? Being aware of our emotions, sometimes being aware of not really having too much emotion at all about something, or about, hey, I actually feel really ambiguous about this. So that's okay as well. Decisions are best made when the head, heart, and spirit are all aligned, and not when we're like, okay, can't figure this out. My mind says one thing, my heart says another, and my life is it's on a whole nother page in a whole nother book. So again, I'm never really exempt from anything that I talk about on here. I've had a lot of mental activity myself with deciding a lot of directions. It feels more in regards to relationships in our lives, our family relationships, our spousal or romantic relationships, our friendships. And it's natural towards the end of the year to evaluate our friendships, but it feels like we are really thinking about it more this year than another. And it also feels like there's more of a spirit of this contemplative energy as opposed to holiday cheer. Now, the holiday cheer is out there. I've seen so many decorations up early. Please excuse the falling star I have going on up there. Look, I'm not perfect. I'm trying to figure this out with extension cord on the back. So, and it is a false tree. I do false trees more so, and it's an eco-friendly false tree, because my thing about getting a tree each year and then having it die and environment and all that stuff, but that's neither here nor there. Point is that I'm glad that I see people really itching to get into that holiday spirit, and I feel the intent there of people like really, yeah, you know, holidays, but then I also feel that, can't really, there's still part of me that is still in this thinking hat, in this thinking cap, and that's, again, that's okay. Being present and accounted for at our family functions mentally can be probably a little bit more difficult this year, because we are thinking a lot about our futures more than usual, and this contemplative energy is going along with what I said in my last video, with people that were in our lives for a long time are exiting, and they will be exiting through the first 2 to 3 weeks of January, depending on how hard-headed you are or how tough you are at letting go. Sometimes we really want to hold on to stuff, and it's time to just let it go merrily down the stream, and you're not going with it. So this energy around this time is just very contemplative. I know that, again, we're going to be around our family members, we're around our loved ones, but we're still kind of in ourselves, in the back of our minds, figuring out what are we doing about different situations. It's good, again, to be aware of those thoughts and feelings. Try every once in a while to get out of yourself, to do something to balance that out. I found myself in a deep funk, so I started to do writing 10 different things every day that I was grateful for, because it's easy to keep saying the same thing every day: car, place, job, all those things like that. But the real challenge is to find something different every single day of those 21 days that you are grateful for. And I also started doing my favorite part of the day, which is either at the end of the day or the beginning of the next day, depending on how tired I am and pass out in bed. I think about what my favorite moment was from that previous day or from the day of, depending on when I'm doing it. So, and it could be something small, but it really makes you think about what you enjoyed about your day instead of what you have to worry about tomorrow, or what you may have had to go through that day. It makes you really think about those things. So 21-day cleanse with that. And if you do Reiki, I'm also doing the Reiki for 21 days to help really cleanse out. And I don't get hard on myself. If I miss a morning or a day, I just pick up where I left off and you keep it moving. It defeats the purpose if you're hard on yourself when you do stuff like that. So I won't make this super long. I'm amazed I'm doing this during daylight hours. And I'm amazed some other people too, depending on if you've noticed my other videos or not. Usually really late. Today, during the day, look at that, I'm getting a head start. This is a good part of the day then. I'm going to add that to my list. So, again, that contemplative energy going on. Try to be as present as possible in the loving moment with your loved ones. Whether or not they are part of that contemplative issue is another thing. But the usual message is stay in the energy of love, even if you're going more inside than outside. And if it seems like people aren't contacting you, I'm getting that you shouldn't feel, I hate shitting on people. I suggest not feeling like it's you. That sometimes people have other things going on too that have nothing to do with you, and they just do not take the time to reach out. And again, that's at no fault to you. That just means that you keep working on you until everybody's in the safe, even ground to be able to communicate again. Again, that doesn't indicate a problem necessarily. It just means that everybody's got stuff going on. I've noticed admins of other groups and other businesses openly saying that they've had a funk going on lately. That's what I like to call it, a funk, a little dip in our energy and our emotions. And I so appreciate when people take the time to publicly say that, because we think that we have to be all the time and we have to be on all the time and we have to show up and show out, especially when other people are depending on us. But it's people in those positions that feel the most pressure to come off a certain way or to come off as stable, or I mean, everybody gets rocky every once in a while, but sometimes that pressure is on for people that are usually the ones that are dependent on. So let's all give ourselves some internal hugs or some external hugs. I enjoy my hugs. And to give each other our emotional space and our mental space without taking it personally. And this time will carry over into the new year, this contemplative spirit I see when I look. And when we come out of it, it'll be sort of like plotting for spring. It's a plotting for a spring in spirit, or a spring in mind, or spring in energy, where there will be a renewal of a lot of people's thought processes and thinking, but this one is more so long term. Usually people make New Year's resolutions and they're done within a week or two, maybe a month or two. This really is us, a lot of people reevaluating inadvertently their personalities or their habits and things of that sort, and we are really growing into the next level of who we are to be. So please don't be down on yourself about taking the time to really think about things and what you're doing and where you're going, because it's all out of love. Everything that happens for a loving reason, at least I'd like to believe. And for those of you that are into it, we are still technically in the shadow period, post-shadow period of retrograde, so totally adds up there. You might still see some remnants of that going on. So won't make this too much longer. I just wanted to come on here and check in with everyone to make sure that we are being kind to ourselves for needing to take the time to ourselves for figuring our lives out. Hopefully you're not really trying to figure it out. Hopefully you're just being present and aware of your emotions and thoughts, and then letting it kind of sort itself from there. I feel like thoughts and emotions kind of sort themselves instead of our minds in there trying to judge everything that's going on. So again, happy Yule, happy winter solstice, happy Hanukkah, and soon to be Merry Christmas and Happy Kwanzaa, and anything else that I might have missed from other celebrations. I wish you a happy those as well, because when it really comes down to it, it's all about love right now. And again, that number, if anyone has missed it, for the National Suicide Hotline is at the beginning of this video, and they do offer an online chat as well. And please do not be afraid to use that option. I really hope that a lot of people this year in that contemplative spirit if they do find themselves on that edge, they do decide to reach out to someone. And I hope that someone is able to give you the love, care, and attention that you need. So I love you guys. We're getting through it, the end of the year. This is one of the last pushes for our new beginnings for next year, not just because of New Year's, but because energetically we are all coming into ourselves. And it's a beautiful thing. Not always a beautiful process, but it's a beautiful thing. So, love you guys. I'll be back, I'm sure, at some point before the end of the year. Check out my other videos to see what's also going on. I kind of scatter information. So, bye. Now I got to figure out how to get out of here again. Oh, there it is. Finished. Bye. Oh, no. My Grayson.